Well, so the big news is that Kia Motors will finally arrive into India at the beginning of 2019 and they'll arrive with the SP Concept SUV. Now that's not the car we've got for you today. We've got the Sportage SUV, and this car will also be launched sometime towards the end of 2019 or maybe the beginning of 2020, but we thought we'll give you a taste of things to come. Now officially, Kia is a sister brand of Hyundai Motors internationally, but in India they'll both sell separately. So let's get started with this review and find out what Kia Motors has to offer. Internationally, the car maker is known for their quality interiors as well as their class-leading 7-year warranties, and most of those things should also arrive in India. Well, if you're planning to sell your car before buying this one or any other one, then you should definitely consider Cars24. Visit any of their 50 branches and sell your car at the best price. Not only this, Cars24 will also instantly transfer the money into your bank account and will also take care of all the paperwork, including the RC transfer. So do check out Cars24 today. Well, before starting off this review, let me just throw in a small caveat, and that is that this car isn't the India model. This, of course, is the international version. Probably it's a right-hand drive car, so in that sense, it might be a UK spec version. But that said, the quality is absolutely brilliant. And if Kia brings even 70 or 80% of this quality into India, then be prepared to be completely blown away by the quality levels inside the Kia cars, because these cars can actually match and maybe even outlast Audi as well as Mercedes for sheer quality levels, and I'm not exaggerating at the moment. The quality of the smaller switches over here, the quality of the top of the dashboard, as well as the door pads here is absolutely phenomenal. Well, what's also phenomenal are the features inside this car. You get multiple airbags all across, you get cool seats in the front. You also get a feature called downhill brake control, which means that when this car goes down a hill, the brakes automatically work and stop you from sliding down. You also get auto hold function as well as an electronic handbrake. And that's not all, you also get a nice touchscreen over here, as well as a lot of other equipment which I can't list because this video will run over 10 minutes then. In terms of the overall seat comfort, these seats really are very good. You get excellent support for your under thighs, the support for the lower back is excellent. You also get these nice bolsters. Well, the first thing you'll truly appreciate as soon as you enter the cabin is the fact that the doors shut with a very solid and a very authoritative thud, and it feels like a safe car once you're inside this car because the doors really have that nice and authoritative sound. Apart from that, once you're inside the car, you'll find knee room is excellent, headroom is also pretty good, even with the sunroof over here which eats up into the roof. But even then, headroom is pretty good, and my height for reference is 5'10", and if you are someone who's about 6'2" or 6'3", you should be quite okay in these seats because I have about 5 or 6 inches above my head as well. So you should be quite okay in these seats if you are 6'2" or 6'3". The other good point is that you can recline these seats as well by a slight bit if you want a little bit more comfort, but the seats are great in terms of cushioning. Overall support is excellent, and it is a very wide car, so you can generally have 3 occupants here. You get your own AC vents, a 12 volts charging point, as well as a USB charging point. There is a bit of a lump, but it's really not an issue because it is a very wide car, so 3 people over here should be comfortable. Overall, an excellent place for people who prefer the back seat to the front, and the cabin ambience really is very good, and as I just said, it can really take on the Germans for sheer quality as well as the build. Well, so the Kia Sportage comes with a powered tailgate because it is a luxury SUV, so you don't have to use your hands to open up the gate, and once it does open up, it liberates a nice and wide area. It's a nice and boxy boot. There's absolutely no loading sill, so you can simply shove in those bags, and if you want more storage, you can always drop the backrest of the back seats down and you get an almost completely flattish area for your luggage as well as those house shifting duties. It really is a very luxurious as well as spacious SUV. So the Kia Sportage is nice to look at and it's very comfortable and very luxurious to sit in, but how is it to drive? And I have good news for you. This car is pretty good to drive as well. Now, in terms of the engine options internationally, you get a choice of petrol as well as 2 diesel options, and we've got the 2-liter diesel today with us, which makes about 182 bhp. Internationally, it's available with 2 options in itself. It makes 134 in one option as well as 182 bhp in the other one, and we've got the 182 version with us today. Now, in terms of overall refinement, it is within acceptable limits. It is a nice and smooth engine when it gets warm enough, and performance also is quite good. If you drive this car around, it offers you the typical SUV-ish driving position. You sit up high in these seats, you get a very nice view of the road ahead. Yes, the A-pillar is a little chunky, but it's quite okay because you get very nice visibility from the rear view mirrors, and even the view from the back window is quite nice and big. In terms of the steering feedback, it is quite okay. It is light around town but never gets nervous out on the highway. And in terms of overall stability also, the suspension setup, even though it is slightly on the firmer side, it's never very uncomfortable when driving in the city. Yes, you will have to slow down for those rumble strips because some of them can be felt in because of the slightly stiff suspension setup. But the corollary to that is that once you're on the highway, this car really does stick on the road like a leash and has very, very good ride comfort out on the highway as well. Now, this isn't really a sporty SUV because even though the steering wheel offers you good feedback, it's not the sharpest in the business, and there is decent body roll as well. But if you are someone who does want an engaging drive, you can always use the drive modes over here and choose between the eco as well as the sport mode. And at the moment we're in the sport mode, immediately you'll notice the difference in the engine as well as gearbox dynamics. Well, buyers will also appreciate the fact that the Sportage can sit on the highway all day long. Once you're driving this car on the highway and doing speeds of say about 100 kph, the engine is spinning in top gear, which is of course the 6th gear. Remember, it is a 6-speed automatic. The engine is spinning at about 1200-1300 rpm. The cabin is very well isolated from whatever's happening on the outside. There's absolutely no wind, tire or road noise into the cabin, and that makes it a nice car for those long distance trips. Well, so overall, what is my summary after driving this car today? I have to say that if you're in the market for a new car and can wait for about 6 to 12 months, then definitely wait for Kia Motors because they're going to come out with all guns blazing, and the brand really is worth waiting for. If you want to know more about this brand and other new car drives as well as launches, then do subscribe to our channel by clicking over here. And if you want to know more about some other cars at this price point, then you can always check out our other content over here. It's bye for now and hope to see you soon.